Happy New Year! Welcome to this week's episode of Wisdom in the Best Books and Films. I'm Jake Bear, the host, and for the first few months of this year, we are going to be doing a King Arthur theme, where I will be doing little thoughts from the Pendragon cycle as well as short stories. The Pendragon cycle is a book series written by Stephen Lawhead in the 1980s. It is a really fun series that is a different take on the King Arthur legends that has a lot of Christianity in it and is just a neat story overall. There's a TV series coming out by Daily Wire Plus starting in January, but if you're a Daily Wire Plus All Access member, then you have access to the first two episodes now, and I have seen the first two episodes and liked them quite a lot. I read the books a few years ago, and so I thought, a lot of these I do one thought from a book or even one thought from a series of books, but that does not mean that there is one thought worth having, one bit of wisdom, one bite-sized nugget of truth in each book. And so I thought this was a good time where we're going to have a TV series coming out where we could do a series from all the same books. And I'll start with book one, work our way through book two, but this week's episode happens to be one from book one, which is Taliesin, and it is from episode one of the series. So if you've seen episode one, you will have seen the part that this is referring to. If you enjoy, as usual, please leave a review and share it with friends. This week's episode is called A Fine Lad. When I was around 6 or 7 years old, I was a bit of an ornery little bugger. I frequently was called into the principal's office and got tickets from the bus driver, John, for doing rowdy things on the bus. On one of these occasions, I brought a ticket home from John that I had to have my dad sign and bring back the next day to be able to go to school. I think this particular ticket was for punching a girl who rode on the bus with me. No idea what instigated that bad decision. When I gave my dad the ticket, he sat me down and talked about the things a boy needs to hear, told me we need to protect girls, not hurt them, and some other things that hopefully stuck eventually. Then at the end of talking with me, he said something like, "Jake, you're a fine lad, but you can't be doing stuff like that." The next day, when I presented John with my signed ticket, he asked me, "Well, what did your father have to say to you?" My confident response was, "He told me I was a fine lad." Now, this story is hilarious, but it also shows something important that my dad was able to do with all of his kids. When he told me I was a fine lad, I didn't think he meant it was good that I had punched a little girl. I knew that he was speaking to what I could and should become. He always treated me and my siblings as fine lads and lasses, so that even when we disappointed him, we knew he saw something better inside of us. He always hated the sins, but the thing that showed through was his complete and clear love of the sinners. Because of this, I have always felt a strong need to live up to his high expectations. I also believe he continues in a non-judgmental way to treat me as if I am better than I am today, which continues to give me a desire to be what he already thinks I am. It isn't disappointed high expectations that he shows. Rather, it is seeing the good in me that pushes me to live up to those high standards. In Chapter 3 of Taliesin, Book 1 of the Pendragon cycle by Stephen R. Lawhead, one of the main characters, Caris, leads a group of bull dancers called the Gulls. They are the best anyone has ever seen in Atlantis, performing daring feats with wild bulls. There's a wonderful depiction of this in a recent episode of the TV series released by the Daily Wire. In the book, Caris has the following thought about how her group got to be so good. Quote, "But Caris knew it was important for her dancers to feel superior, set apart by virtue of their unrivaled skill. While in the beginning this might not have strictly been true, believing it over time had made it so. They were the Gulls, and they were better than the rest." End quote. She treated them better than they deserved. She made them want to stretch to reach what she said they were. She made them believe that they really were the best there was. Over time, that belief created what was an unparalleled team in skill, thanks in part to Karis treating them like the best. This lesson should be used in all relationships we have, whether it is our children, our work groups, our church, or any other group we may be in. If you treat others just a little bit better than they deserve, it will push them to be what they think you think that they are. Trusting them to do a little bit more than they are currently capable of will in many cases help them to gain the needed capacity. Sometimes, to this day, when I have more to do than I think I can handle, I think to myself, I am a fine lad, and that helps me to do more. You can have that same influence on people if you try. You can start with yourself and your family. Be a fine lad or a fine lass, and help your loved ones to also feel that desire today. That's the end of this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a review on Apple or Spotify, share the link with friends and family, and help the podcast to grow. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. My email is in the show notes, and I will respond to any and all emails that I receive, or feel free to leave a comment on the Substack or on the YouTube page, whatever you find easiest. Thank you for listening. Next week we will continue with more King Arthur themed reading. Hope to see you then.